Not necessarily fucks with the wild shit itself, but definitely fucks with the realm that pays attention to wild shit. So, I don't have a lot of an echo chamber. There's definitely a lot of different voices. Both together, fused, and in a way that they're not different anymore.
Okay, that makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? Like, shit is funny in like a way where the internet world and the real world fuse into the same victim.
Victim?
Yeah. Ooh, this is money. Boy, let's check this out. The motherfucker who predicted through some really smart ass, weird ass shit the crash of 2008, Michael something. Forget his name, Michael something. He wrote the book and then they made the movie, The Big Short. About that dude, Christian Bale. Right. That dude tweeted for the first time in months, 2 days ago, that the economy about to collapse. And I'm, of course, paraphrasing, but basically saying it's going to be worse. And, yeah. So then I hollered at my economic expert, shout out to CJ, and she told me that not only is that true, but she getting hella wild, boy. I don't even want to go into it because I don't understand it, but it's wild as fuck, boy. Motherfuckers making fake money. You ever heard of Tether?
Heard of what?
Tether?
Tetherball?
Nah, it's a cryptocurrency. Holy fuck.
Are they the ones that just ended up dipping?
Yeah.
Yep.
They were supposed to. No. Well, they don't dip though. They sit. They're tied to the dollar, quote unquote. So it's a stable coin.
Mm-hmm.
So wherever the dollar is where it's at. So it's always worth $1. But the fools behind it are just like printing money.
Mm-hmm.
And it's real money because then they're transferring it through crypto. And like,
did you hear what?
they don't have no. There's nothing there, and it's holding all of the other cryptos together in some wild economical way. Well, I don't know. Motherfuckers just talking on the line in these forums, in the economic spots, and from of course CJ, who are all my economic. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't even say her name. Oh shit, I'll take it back. You know what I'm saying? That's my undisclosed. You know what I'm saying? Source. I can't just be. I just can't be putting out sources like that. You know what I'm saying?
Just revealing your sources.
You know what I mean? But hey, that's why I trust them. So, some wild shit's going on, boy.
Yeah, the president or leader, I'm not sure if they're called a president down there, of Peru just announced that they will be the cryptocurrency country. They're inviting people who are crypto entrepreneurs to come down there and build crypto businesses. They're offering them permanent residence if you're building a crypto business or doing something around crypto there, trying to become this hub of cryptocurrency. Ooh, I don't think that's going to end well.
I think that actually will end really well. Crypto is definitely not going away.
It does get a little bit more interesting, though. Well, the part of the article that I found most interesting was how they're using it or trying to like offset their footprint, their eco.
Oh
footprint,
yeah.
Right, and
because it get hot as fuck.
Right now, Peru uses geothermal heat through like volcanoes, and that like heats their grid. That's one of their energy sources. And so they're essentially like selling off some of that energy negativeness. I think we talked about this at one point before around carbon neutral. And they're selling off some of their like eco kind of offsets from the volcano heat to the heat from the cryptocurrencies to try and offset some of that, like balance that equation of carbon footprints. And we'll see how that goes. It's interesting, but like you said before, it's kind of all
I think
like
that's a great idea.
made up funny money. That
I mean, all money is made up funny money, though.
it is. It
You know
sure
what I'm saying?
is. Yeah, and
We sold our gold, boy. We don't. U.S. don't have no gold left.
Yeah,
They don't need it.
Yeah,
So the Federal Reserve, they do all kinds of other shit. I don't understand them economics either, but it's wild, and it has to do with Wall Street shit. It's fucking crazy, dude. These people are wild, B. And there's motherfuckers out there, like, losing money. And so like big corporations with a lot of money that are losing money right now, and to fund it are dumping all their crypto, which they had so that they didn't have to pay taxes on it. You know what I'm saying? And now they're dumping all their crypto where that shit's going down. And, I mean, motherfuckers could be doing some other... Man, I don't know. I don't even have to understand it. I know motherfuckers even hearing me are probably like, what the fuck are you talking about, Phil? And I'm like, man, I just know that it's so crazy that it's real. Like right now, that economy, what they have going on, if it crashes, our economy will either crash or at least be affected. And not only that, the type of gambling that they did with the housing market in the 2000s, they started doing it on some type of grants or loans and with a different name. And I don't understand this shit, but I just know that motherfucker's just gonna go down. So, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you know how to make some soup over a fire.
damn, that got really.
That's what they
dark
said.
there
That's
at
what
the
they said
end.
on the line. Boy, these people on the line are crazy.
I mean, they are, and there's a lot of things that are said on the line about the economy and different things, and I don't know, man. Especially economists on the internet. Like the other one that's not been tweeting, I don't know much about that person, but I don't know. All the rest of these people who are out here talking about economics and stuff, I find that usually they know just as much as you about economics that they're talking about sometimes, and it's like
No. That dude that tweeted though was the one who.
keeping him out of that.
Oh, I was
That's
gonna
what I'm
say
saying, not him.
his Twitter name right now is Cassandra. Cassandra was the chick who warned everybody of Troy about the horse. And they all told her she was lying. Kicked her out anyways. Killed her later on, I think.
I mean, to be honest, there's so much fuck shit that happens in our stock market and the way that they fuck around with money and just like, you know, speculate. And that's exactly what caused, you know, the first depression, I'm pretty sure, was market speculations and people buying on credit, and then they fucking dumped the market, and then bam, we have the Great Depression. But they I mean, all kinds of fuck shit happens. All kinds of fuck shit happens with crypto now. I think, you know, it does seem like it's becoming a problem, right? The size of it, the creation of it, the varying different...
You think that crypto is the problem?
Well, the ability to make competitive money that can be made from just like having a lot of money already, to have all this equipment, or convincing enough people in the stock market to say, hey, put a bunch of money into this. We're going to make a bunch of money making all these coins, and we're just going to wait on it. And then more people buy their stock, and they give the people who first bought their stock their shareholder or their shares, you know, they pay them with the money that they're getting from the new people with the same speculation, right? This is how Tesla works. This is how Tesla has worked for a while, where they don't actually make any money, but they just keep paying old investors with new investors, and that's the fuck shit that will fuck up our market and really crash it, is because this is happening all the time with lots of companies, crypto excluded, where they just inflate, And then what's going to happen is crypto is probably going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back upon all this, and they'll blame crypto. But they've been fucking around with all this shit in the market for decades, right? And we even saw it get a little bit scary and weird when that shit happened with, what was the app? Robinhood, right? You remember that?
Yeah,
That's
that
when
was
everybody
fuck
got
shit.
into crypto, that like it kind of hit the normalcy point, right? Where crypto became like a normal household thing. It wasn't just like a weird kind of off-topic thing that nerds and internet knows about. It became like a lot bigger then, and we saw them immediately step in and change the rules so it couldn't happen again, right? Because the Big Short, they were just doing a Big Short, right? When they were doing the whole Robinhood stuff recently, they were just shorting stocks, playing with that like little kind of bit of risky period in between things, and they took advantage of the market, which is what all of those hedge funds do every single day in the market. That's all the hedge funds, honestly do, is just that. And so maybe crypto will be the thing that breaks it. I don't think it's crypto's fault, but when you add this kind of like variation into an economy like this, of course it's going to fuck it up. Where you're adding different currencies into like a global market, that already has plenty of currencies, that plenty of them are all fucked up because they are or aren't attached to whatever.
Yeah, but
I
the
don't
difference,
understand all that shit,
the
but-
difference is that especially the thing is that here it seems like, oh yeah, whatever, because we just go to banks and you could trust the dollar. The dollar is one of those trustable, currencies, so we're not worried about it. But there's a lot of motherfuckers in other countries who don't like, and even us included, who don't own our own money, right? I don't have my money. My money's at a bank. And if I want to get it, I got to go to the bank. If the bank don't have my money, I don't get my money. Right? Then there's all these insurances, of course. That's the FDIC and all this shit. But it's like, there's a point where it's like my money is somewhere else, and it's a representation of something, that is not mine. Right? In crypto, typically those are yours. You see what I'm saying? And so while here we could trust our economy, quote unquote, to do what it does, and so we just go with normalcy. In other countries, their currencies are not so trustable. You know what I'm saying? When you're in somewhere where your currency is so inflated that you know what I mean? It's like yen. What is it? 1,000 yen is $10. You know what I mean? Like it's and so in those senses, a lot of those people, they want to own something that holds its value. And so they get cryptocurrency, which is a currency that's based in something real. Like it's a real algorithm. I don't understand it.
I mean, it's not real.
It is real though.
It's just
no. It's
data.
just as real as real money. We say that we all agree that this piece of paper is I've got a $10 bill over there. So we all agree together that that's worth $10.
Well,
But if the economy collapsed, that's not worth anything. Right? If the American economy collapses, that $10 is worth nothing. Whereas in cryptocurrency, your shit is always, you have a value on that thing. You have a thing. Right? That thing is a piece of paper that's worth nothing, except for it's got something printed on it, so we say it's worth something. Right? Back in the day, people wanted gold because they would use gold for shit. It was really mendable. It was the best metal to work with, and it was the prettiest. So people used gold a lot. So you would use that as currency. You got gold coins. They were always hand stamped because you could just make more. And it wasn't about the denomination on it. It was about the weight. How much gold are you giving me? These are all things you can have that are worth something. So in that same sense, dollar's not worth anything. Right? And in that same way, we're all just agreeing that it's worth something. So in cryptocurrency, yeah, it is nothing. But it is something. And everybody so far is not only agreeing that it's worth something, each one of those Bitcoin is worth like $39,000 right now. The Ethereum are at like 2,600. 24 maybe. I know, because I'm trying to buy a horse with some Ethereum right now, and I bought a horse. I got a fucking donkey, so I got to buy a new horse. I bought an NFT horse. And he races. NFT races. For Ethereum.
Okay.
Fucking wild.
Okay. You're getting a little bit off the rails here.
Look, man, I'm just saying I don't want my motherfucking pony races to be fucked up because somebody in a motherfucking at what do they call it? What's it called? Tether. Is fucking with the whole joint, making themselves money.
Yeah. I mean, I do think that there's probably some kind of truth in the future with crypto, and that's how things will move forward. But we're too tied into the tender system that we have in the dollar, and they will do. The people that have all the dollars aren't gonna let crypto take it down, right? I don't think that's gonna happen because the people that have the power and control over all of these markets are the ones with all the dollars that they don't want their dollars to lose its value.
Sure, of course.
Right? And so they'll spend lots of their dollars.
But you know where they have, you know where their dollars are at now? Because it's not their money and it's not in the bank. Rich motherfuckers have their dollars in the stock market. And if that shit crashes, their dollars go away.
That's what I'm talking about.
Well, I'm just saying. So what you're saying is like I get that again, these things mean something, but again, they only mean something for as long as they mean something.
And that's true for the coins or for the
correct, yeah, but dollars have been worth something for a gang. Gold has been worth something for long as fuck. Sex has been worth something for longer than that. And motherfuckers pay for shit.
Because if you assign yourself to, saying that crypto will take over, and it sounds like you're in a ballpark of thinking it is better than what we have traditionally now, you would have to assume that at some point, most of them will fall out, right?
Yeah.
Because they're just, at one point, there will be, not a monopoly, but there will probably be just a group that end up taking over as the acceptable forms. And, I mean, is that the gamble that you're playing now is like early crypto entrepreneurs headed to Peru?
No,
are you
talking about me?
Anyone.
Oh,
right?
Okay. I thought you were talking about me. I was like, no, I have Ethereum strictly so that I could buy a horse. And they just actually, they dropped a new horse this morning. That's a collab with Stella. And they're on auction right now. And they're going for like 5 Ethereum. And again, Ethereum right now, $2,400. One. What's 24 times 5? That many Ethereum. You know what I'm talking about? It's crazy. And motherfuckers pay real dollars to get that Ethereum. Or real Bitcoin. Or real whatever. Because again, it's worth something.
Yeah, I'm not denying that it isn't valuable in some way or another. I mean, they are, but they're.
I tell you that if the networks ever go down to the point where Bitcoin is not real anymore, so does that dollar. The kind of event that it would take for like the networks to go down, so we don't have internet no more. So you're like, oh, where's my Bitcoin, right? Because that's essentially what it is. It's stored in the algorithm. And as long as you have access to the algorithm, you have your money. Your piece of Bitcoin is a literal answer to this fucking algorithm that keeps going on for exactly 38 million or something, and then it stops. And then that's all the Bitcoin that will ever be mined. And mining it is literally just processing that Bitcoin or that algorithm, and my computer's doing it right now. That's some wild shit, you know what I'm saying? What day is it? Goddamn June 17th, 2021. My name is Justin. To my left, your right, that's going to be Steven.
Hello.
In front, always producing, is Eric.
What's up, y'all? About 15 minutes in, we're doing the intro.
Hell yeah.
But
sometimes it be like that.
Well, I think that currencies, all of them should be replaced with Pokemon cards. 1,000%.
I mean, they are a currency right now.
Ooh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I mean, sitting on some real Charizards.
Ooh,
Hell
those
yeah.
are...
You see, Logan Paul walked out with a Charizard and a fucking golden chain out to the fight after Floyd. You didn't see it?
I didn't watch that. No.
That shit's hard. What is it?
I
know you know that.
I know it's not PSA because that's like the lower one, but it's like a higher grade company that just like grades cards on their quality. There's 3 of them that are rated at 10, and because of that, they're worth around $700,000 to $800,000 each. One guy owns the other 2.
And he was wearing one.
And like nobody else knew that like where the third one was. Like the guy, like that's where the guy
so he probably just got it.
Yeah, like there's a whole thing of like, where the fuck did he get from?
Because he got money. You can find those
because he had the other the PSA ones, there's the 300 or something like that of those are worth like 20 G's, 25 G's. But yeah, him walking out with that one specific card was like a flex. Wild. He also got knocked out like halfway through the fight, and Mayweather picked
I
him
seen
up.
that. I don't believe it. I believe he got hurt, but he didn't get knocked out. No. I don't think so. I did see the little clip though. The problem is that clip always ends right there where he comes back up. He does like another swing. He's moving in with the movement. He's not doing like something where you're stumbling around. He looks like that because he's so damn tall and he's tired and he's literally reaching down because he's fucking tired and I don't know if y'all ever been tired yo, do a round of boxing and tell me how you look when you know what I mean? You do anything. And I'll tell you, it's going to look like you about to fall over knocked out, sitting down. Do a round. You know what I mean? Bo was in there like 12 rounds with Mayweather and shit. And I wanted to get knocked out too. But, I mean, he didn't get knocked out. Boy, just tired. He tired and don't know how to box. He like kind of box. He could probably box your cousin. But if your cousin boxes, I mean, maybe not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, I missed that one. I don't know. I didn't care to watch that fight. They didn't even sanction it to be bet on here in Colorado, so.
I know. We had to bet on some bullshit.
Yeah, because did you hear why? They didn't sanction the fight? Because the Florida Commission was like, the level of skill between these two is too far away that we cannot sanction this as like a real bout. It is just like exhibition. We can't sanction it. And it makes sense, right? They have like liabilities and stuff, and they put a monster like Floyd in the ring without and you know, he knocks his head off, right? They can't sanction that fight. The skill difference was way too big. The weight classes were like way out of whack. There was so many things that were also, there couldn't be a winner in that fight unless there was a knockout, which is another thing that, because there was no judges. So they're like, well, we can't sanction a non-judged way out of like.
Yeah, that's what they just did for Tyson and Roy Jones.
Oh, they didn't sanction that fight either because they're too old.
Basically, yeah. Anyways, this is the Lone Ranger versus Tonto up in this motherfucker.
Oh
There it
yeah,
is.
that part.
Finally.
How was that? My bad. I had to just get it out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's just been like boiling. I was like, oh fuck. When do I say it? Anyways, crypto's crazy. So it's whatever we were just talking about 3 seconds ago. I'm blazed. What were we just saying?
About crypto?
No, like literally just right before-
Boxing.
Boxing.
Yeah. You know what's also crazy? Steven brought in some beers that are non-alcoholic.
This
for
ain't
us
alcoholic?
today.
What the fuck am I drinking?
Did. You're drinking some groovy golden
Come on,
lager.
dude. Oh, man. I just cracked it. I would have left it closed. I'd be like, you can have this, my dude. Oh, man. You know I can't not drink it. God damn it.
I gotta see what you think of these. I'm
I
really
think that
excited.
you're like the dude who brings cauliflower wings to the fucking Super Bowl party. You're gonna get knocked out by one of the fucking drunk cousins. Fuck. He's gonna
after
be all
he fights
faded
Logan
and take a
Paul.
bite of that shit thinking it's a wing. And when he finds out that's not chicken, he's throwing fucking hands, B.
Oh man. You don't want to try out the non-alcoholic? This is made here in
Warn me.
Wheat Ridge.
Warn me.
It says it on there. It's in like the second.
You know I
biggest
don't read.
font.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Have you even tried it yet?
Yeah, I've tried. It tastes like water.
Is that the only review you're gonna give it? It tastes like more than water.
It tastes like water.
It's actually really good. I fuck with it.
It tastes like beer flavored water.
I mean, that's what beer is in
No,
general.
no. Think about those. Think about those sparkling waters you get. Get one that's like orange, raspberry. This one's beer flavored. There's not actual beer in there. It's just beer flavored water.
Bira by LaCroix.
Basically, yeah.
It's beer. It's water that sat in a room that was that also had beer being made.
Like this wasn't beer yet. They took it out too early.
They actually leave it in
And
too
you
long.
and you fucking and you put it in a goddamn better can than this. I need to know immediately. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean a better can than this?
Yellow, bright yellow,
For a warning, like slow
with
down,
like
Justin.
with like
You
bees
slow
down,
down.
with like bees and flowers drawn on it and like painted on like really really feminine like, right?
Okay.
That would make me think, what's up with this beer? Because they're always so masculine, right? They always act so fucking macho, even with like with some of them beers and shit. Maybe that's against the thing. I guess some of y'all.
Twins.
Exactly, right? And
Some
so,
of y'all might remember
you know what I mean? Like, this is just dope. I thought of it artistically as tight. It's not feminine enough. You know what I'm saying? Let me go a little more. And then I would have been like, oh, you know what? Maybe that's a seltzer. Let me read it.
Huh.
And then I find out, oh, that's not alcoholic.
Pass.
It could be neutral, though. Again, I went yellow with bees and flowers. That's pretty neutral, boy. I just wanted to be drawn by a woman. You know what I'm saying? Or a dude who draws like a woman. That's cool, too. Fuck it. We're not sexist. You know what I mean? Or anybody who wants to draw, it just needs to look feminine. Shit. Anyways, that's how they do this beer. And I can't even call it beer. That's how they do this water. And
It's beer. It's definitely still beer.
3 stars, do not recommend.
3 out of how many though?
10.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Hell
What do you
nah.
think of it, Eric?
How does non-alcoholic beer work? Is it just like not fermented for a while, or like, because it looking at the at least ingredients, it's water, barley, hops, and yeast, which is beer,
Mm-hmm.
which you say it's beer, but like I'm just wondering how they take the alcohol out of it or not add it.
There's a couple different ways to do it. Like you mentioned, there is a way that you can just not ferment it with yeast.
Mhm.
You can just like, make malt. You get the grains in there, get the hops in there, just cook it all up, make it, and then, carbonate it. But that leaves it really sweet, right? Because it's not eating any of the sugars. You can do it that way. Like this place does a stout like that. Or you can, the other like more regular way is that you just make the beer normally like you would make any other beer.
My bad.
And then before or after the yeast does its thing, you heat it up to like 175-ish degrees where alcohol starts to boil off and water doesn't. You're losing other volatile like flavors and other things like that through that process, which is why normally non-alcoholic beer tastes like shit. Because they generally just like, that was like one of the older processes. Then you also have the way that you can, alter the yeast from making certain alcohol by, they like different, like there's different countries.
GMO.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
lots of
one.
GMOs.
That's the one that sounds real interesting.
And
They do it with a scalpel?
The yeast strain game is just like the weed strain game where they, they're GMOing all their GMing all the O's, and
They'd be jamming all the O's, boy.
and but they've been trying to produce yeast that don't eat maltose or something like that, the main sugar from malt, because if they're not eating that, then they have other things that they might eat, but they don't really get to the main sugar, so it still leaves it a little sweet, but there's different things you can do. So there's varying techniques, different styles. Kind of lean themselves better for different ones. We're gonna drink another non-alcoholic hazy IPA.
Get the fuck out of here. No, we're not, dude. I was trying to hurry the fuck up and get through this, dude, so I could get to the good one. I'm not drinking that. I need a Corona.
There is no Coronas.
Oh, there's Coronas. I refuse.
I really want to do a blind taste test now with Justin with these and Corona, like this beer, Corona, and a Modelo, and then maybe a Budweiser, and see if Justin can actually pick out the non-alcoholic one. Because this honestly tastes a lot like I've had shittier lagers in this. Definitely had shittier lagers in this that tasted worse. This isn't like good in terms of like a lager, but I don't think it's any worse than drinking like a Coors Light in flavor. This has
makes
more
sense.
flavor.
Except for
than a
Coors Light has alcohol. Will you plug me all the way in? I fucked it up when I got out. Coors Light has alcohol. Still not good.
I don't hear you on the microphone.
Did I fuck that up too? No, I'm here.
There you are.
What's up?
we go. So I mean, my question with that would be like, what makes beer beer? Is it the
Alcohol.
process, or like, yeah, is it like a certain amount of alcohol?
Drinking it with the homies.
The homies.
Yeah, I mean,
It's in the label.
if you go back to like the 1500s German law, the Reinheitsgebot. Oh, what's the name of it? Reinheitsgebot, I think is
What the?
Yeah, it was the like original ruling that said this is what beer legally is, like 1500s Germany, and it was something that has water, malt, yeast, hops. Those 4 things, nothing else. All of those can't
It's
be
like
missing
hip
anything.
hop, except for hip hop is graffiti, breakdancing, DJing, and MCing. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
I used to draw that on every notebook. Keep going with the hops, the 40 ingredients, my fault.
And so, there's still people who subscribe to the Reinheitsgebot or whatever that word is. And, you could say that. And then there's different definitions of beer. But usually it's like a grain-based product that is fermented. That'd probably be about as like broad a definition, because then you can like throw in chicha and pulque.
That's that sour ass shit you brought over that one time, boy. Don't ever bring that shit
that was
again.
that
Boy, I can't
South-
believe that shit. It had a
South-
can too. Fuck that shit.
They were in bottles.
That shit should be yellow and black
Or
or
in bottles.
stripes. I should know not to drink this shit. You know what I'm
Chicha
saying?
is a traditional South American.
Well, I ain't from South America, fool. I'm from North America. And I'm talking about
yeah.
shoot.
But
Bang on fools who like chicha. What's up? We fuck with chichis over here.
oh man,
Sorry, keep going.
Chi-Chis.
4 ingredients:
I mean,
beer.
That's really it. Like I said, it
That makes sense.
boils down to really just being grains and water, and then fermenting them. Maybe with yeast, maybe with different like microorganism fungi.
Wild. What kind of microorganisms?
Wild ones, like you said.
Like what though? I only fuck with yeast. Well, I didn't know they was using anything else.
Yeah. Use like lactobacillus is one
What
that's
the
in beer
fuck?
all the time. Like the same shit that's in yogurt that eats lactose.
Oh hell no!
Yeah, it's in beer all the time.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Like that tart ass one that you liked the other one, the 305 Alive that we
You talking
had
about
from
that bomb
Peculiar?
one?
Yeah.
That shit was off the hook, boy.
Yeah, there's a good chance that could have had some lactobacillus in there.
Well,
Because it had that like tart.
I know that don't
kinda
got no
character.
lactobacillus. It don't got motherfucking nothing. They ain't nothing. They didn't put pepper in that shit. They didn't put no seasoning, and it's awful. That's my review. I'm talking about.
All right, so Justin does not like the groovy. Well, you should really try this one.
Ooh, I broke it. Look, mira.
Whoa, can't drink that one out the
Yeah, the
bottle.
fuck I can, boy.
You're gonna fucking drink a small shard of glass. Pour
You
it
think
out
so?
at least. You could. You're gonna
You don't
cut
think
yourself.
you don't think that it would be a small shard of glass even if I poured it into a cup? Like what keeps it on the bottle?
Well, also then you don't have to put your lips on a rim of sharded glass.
I mean, that's true. It probably cut the fuck out of my shit. Got me.
Fuck around, get a Joker spot. Going.
Dude, I'm sure that's happened to enough motherfuckers that I don't want to be one. You know what I'm saying? Where the glass at? Where the glass at? Damn. I wonder how many people did this and then like cut their liver or something.
Cut their liver, not their esophagus. Stuff.
No, little tiny baby shards. Keep going. Get caught in the liver. You don't think that's real?
In the liver?
Maybe.
I think they would probably get caught somewhere else first.
I don't know. I ain't never been glassed before.
I got offered an opportunity one time, but I said no.
I think they had time that day. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, what else we got to talk about, boy? I know that, look, we halfway through, and we done talked about the cryptocurrency until everybody's head spun and stopped watching. And
Yeah,
we
I'm
done
glad
talked about the economy. I'm telling you, motherfuckers, watch out. Shit. That's it. When it hit, don't be like, oh, shit, didn't nobody tell me. But Uncle Justin told you. Otherwise, shit.
But
What's
yeah,
up?
I was going to talk about some other economic shit, but I don't think we need to get into that after our crypto conversation. We know that that's going to, like you said, your buddy said, it's going to collapse our economy, right? We're done.
I mean, I don't know, but that's what I heard. I mean, man, the inflation is like sky high, my guy. You know what I'm talking about? Oh yeah, boy. It do be like that, boy.
It's not.
Mm-hmm.
People want to say that.
I don't want to say that. I want to say that the economy's doing great.
You do or you don't?
Yeah, why wouldn't I?
I don't know.
I want to make money too. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Broke motherfucker's the one who fucked up when the economy goes down. Yeah, and then fools lose a bunch of gang of millions. We lost 75 million. Bitch, you're worth 800 billion. Shut the fuck up. Shit.
Mm-hmm.
Your boy got 2,000. Here, take my 2,000. Damn it. Oh man. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers be like, oh yeah, I'm living the dream. I got 10 G's, 15 G's. Something like that. That ain't worth nothing. If that stock market go down and that bank don't hold it no more. I don't know why I'm on Dr. Dread right now, but I'm just saying.
I don't know. I think this whole like inflation argument, it definitely comes in the face of like what's going on with home loans and the Federal Reserve and them setting that, not just home loans, but all the loans, setting that to be so low. And what's his name? Jerome Powell, I think is the head of the Feds right now. And he's been pretty like stern on not bringing the interest rates back up because of inflation, which is the big pressure that they're getting right now, because that is one of the tools that they use at the Federal Reserve to adjust inflation as it goes up. But when we look at inflation and how much has actually happened over the last, like our lifetime, last 30 years, it's pretty like nothing. And especially when you look at that with wages, where there was increases in inflation, like natural and fine and even low, and they were very happy about that. And now I find that this is like a convenient time again to start saying, oh, this shit's happening with the economy at the same time when we have a worker shortage, which, you know, a lot of people think that's a bad thing, that all this is happening and nobody can, it's not that nobody, you know, can hire people. They don't want to pay a wage that's high enough. And that's what a working shortage is. A worker shortage is when companies don't pay and they don't want to be competitive. So like if you can't compete with the government paying people just a surviving wage, right? That's all the government is really giving people is a surviving wage.
Yeah, but a lot of those small businesses and even medium-sized businesses are not making a gang of money like that, so they can't. They hire for what they can. And those are, the dudes that take it the worst, right? Because, of course, it's like Walmart and them are the ones who get the stage when it comes to, like, what you pay and this and that, blah-de-blah. But it's like, it's them small joints that, you know what I mean, compete on different levels where they're like, man, I can't afford that shit.
And I don't think that's true at all. Especially like smaller, like very, very small businesses, like the businesses that we all run, most of those people pay way above the wages.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about real estate. That's different because real estate's in a boom right now, so everybody's making money.
I don't just mean real estate. I just mean people in the level of business that only have like 1 to 5 employees generally pay pretty good for those employees.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the businesses that will find suffering in this is
Restaurants.
Well, I mean, they're definitely in this category because I think it's like the franchise model that, in general, that kind of like, you know, the profits are so fucking thin in those franchise models because you have to give so much back to the franchise, right? And so if you're asking them to change their business model where it's going to alter their employee pay by, you know, double, you know, it should double or triple, you know, some of their costs there, right? That can destroy a small Domino's, right?
Not the
but
Domino.
honestly, like, fuck, they'll figure it out, right? Like Domino's
will figure it out. But again, what about like Big Papa Joe's down the street? You know what I mean? Like
Big
that kind
Papa
of stuff.
Joe's what?
Walter's Pizzeria. What happens to that one? You know what I mean? Where it's like they're just, I mean, they make good food and they have like a spot, but I'm sure that they have to pay rent. I'm sure that there's a lot of overhead, and I'm sure that there's not a gang of motherfuckers just running in for pizza all the time. You know what I mean? I'm sure it's steady enough to keep going, of course. But hey, when you find those those spots, and then I mean, man, what do you suggest? Like, what's the idea? I mean, I don't like always blaming the business for everything. You know what I mean?
But I'm not blaming. Well, when you have a system that's set up where they refuse to change profits, because even when we have these conversations, people can't even think like, well, then that's just going to make your Chipotle more expensive. Some fucking lady wrote an article about Chipotle being like 4% more expensive now because they're raising all their wages up. And like, we are going to pay for a lot of this shit anyway, like having a couple dollars extra. But the bottom line here is that
those problems are the billionaires that run them.
So the problem there is exactly that, is that they won't take away that 30% profit margin and turn it to 28 for themselves, because they're just going to, and that's like the myth that we need to break and start pressuring these companies that make millions and billions of dollars in profit and then pay tax rates that are like fucking a tenth of what we pay as normal people, right? And they're not even getting taxed on all this fucking money. And so they can just do all that, not pay their workers, create like, you know, all these inflammatory stories around how people don't want to work and that they're lazy and this unemployment thing is the government's fault and doesn't want to. No. This is a fucking negotiation between the workers of America right now and the corporations that, you know, run this fucking country, and they will do whatever it takes to keep. That's why they're offering all these bonuses and incentives to hire everywhere. $1,200 bonus to get hired here, because it's not a long-term thing. They can just pay you that up front. They don't have to continue to pay you. They don't have to raise other wages of the employees that have been there for 10 years. And now they're making new people make what they make after 10 years. So you got to give them a raise too, or they're boogieing because they can go somewhere else now, which is exactly what should fucking happen in a healthy labor market. Somebody with experience should be able to leave and be like, fuck you, I'm going to go get a job somewhere else that can pay more.
In capitalism.
I mean, you have to have a workforce in capitalism. That's why socialism and communism are the antithesis of capitalism, because it takes the power away from the top and brings it down to the workers. And we're in a position right now where the workers have a strong card to play, where they're able to actually survive without work, which is a true, like, you actually have a choice to work or not, because we don't really have a choice to work or not in America.
They could do that because of socialist programs.
Who?
The people that choose not to work.
Yeah, right now they can, and we'll see what they kind of just like kicked the can down the road federally and said, states, you guys decide. Here's some money. You guys do whatever you want. And that's why we see a bunch of different governors across the country shutting this shit down on the unemployment stuff, because again, they think it's going to bring workers back in, which it will force people back. But again, that's not a fair labor market, right? When you have like rules and regulations that they can change and alter, and they can't just let this natural shortage play out and pay them more money, because really the people who don't want to pay more money are also people making too many of the rules around labor, like laws, and have too much money to pump into, what are those fuckers called that juice and jive with all the politicians? Why can't I think of that word? Lobbyists. You know, they can pay the lobbyists to go and make sure that not too much happens to this. And when big bills that come up and they're like, you know, $15 minimum wages federally, why do you think that shit doesn't get passed? You know how much support that has, like, on voting basis? I mean, people got their fucking stupid ideas thinking they're armchair economists, and
well,
like,
I mean, I think you blame them for the rhetoric more than you put any responsibility on the culture that not only accepts it but embraces it in a different way. Because when you talk to the people, those corporations can say what they want, and most people don't give a fuck what corporations say, right? So they don't do that. What they end up doing is they make a moral and ethic decision where they have the perception that there's these people who won't work, and I do work. And so that's why lately you've seen a bunch of people keep talking about, like, I work for my living and blah, 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 and nobody gives me anything. And it's like, because they think the enemy in their mind are the other motherfuckers who they can compare themselves to that aren't working but are making money too. And so, like, to make themselves feel better, they're like, yo, fuck those fools. Not fucking working. I work for my money. And so it's an entire mentality, and it's a legit mentality. Imagine being the hard-ass working dude. You work like construction or something, and you're on the sun all day, whatever, and you live in an apartment building where the dude across hasn't worked for a year and a half. And that motherfucker just keeps walking out. And you're like, fuck, dude. Why do I got to work so fucking hard? Right?
Sure.
Well, of course, his morals won't let him just stop. He's been taught through his own culture that working is a good thing. And I agree. I fuck with that culture where working is a good thing. Right? Hard work is good for you. And so the idea, you know what I mean, that all those people are like bad or misled by the corporations who are spewing that. I don't think the corporations have very much say at all. I think in reality it's the people. But I think it's the culture that accepts it. And when they accept it, they have to accept it in the way that makes sense to them. And the way that makes sense to them is definitely not, you know what I mean, the corporation said that they're lazy, so I must believe they're lazy. They're agreeing with them. You know what I mean? They're like feeling a thing, and then the corporations say, and they're like, yeah, you're right, they are lazy. I already thought that about them because I'm working and I see motherfuckers who ain't. So that's a real social dynamic. And I mean, while the workers thing is playing out where you know, they're fighting for these wages, I wouldn't put so much blame without any responsibility on the people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, I mean, there definitely has to be a shift in the mentality around our workforce because, you know, we do accept that, and we also accept that the person who's working is probably not getting away. Like, if they're comparing themselves to somebody living on like these survival wages, and they're mad about that they're working, probably because their wage is too low in the first place as well, because they're getting exploited.
No, I'm sure, but these are people that fucking drive around in Ford trucks that are diesels they just bought last year, and they throw big ass Trump flags on them. You know what I mean? That all takes money, and then that's not no little money. They're making good money because they're doing hard work, and them construction jobs pay good money. But again, imagine seeing somebody just make money without any hard work. How that must feel.
I mean, I'm not too upset about it. Like I'm of the.
That's because you're working.
What?
You're working right now, so it doesn't. So you're just you can make that choice to not care, right? But imagine not working and you're getting paid. You know what I'm saying? Or working harder at a different kind of job and having that close comparison. We're talking about a cousin, a brother, an in-law. You know what I'm saying? Like a real situation. And you're like, because these people aren't just, they might say it like generalized. Oh, yeah, these people are blah, blah, blah. When they're venting that shit, they're not talking about the generalized population in their mind. They're talking about their cousin Greg. And they know it. They're like, that motherfucker's always fucking not doing nothing. He don't do nothing but just sit at home and collect blah, 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 blah. And that's what forms his opinion. But it's not formed out of nothing. Like, it's a real thing, right? And it's like, I don't know, man. I forgot what my argument was, but I feel like we demonize people for feeling things that are legitimate feelings. And then maybe morally or ethically there is an argument about why that's not right. But before even trying to explain that point, we just demonize them as, oh, you must fucking hate people. You know what I mean? And it's like, or you must be, you know what I mean, a sheep to the corporation's rhetoric. Know what I'm talking about?
I do. And, you know, a lot of times when they are a sheep to their rhetoric, like their arguments are based in, you know, flawed arguments. Like,
True.
You know, ones around, because, you know, there is propaganda that is put out that if they are these sheep from corporations that says like this is how you should feel about it. And I'm going to validate these feelings of separation around these people and say that you're better than these and they're not as good as you, but how are they still making money? And they're going to enforce and encourage and enable those feelings instead of because I think you're right. Those are rightful feelings of being like, hey, you need to contribute. What the fuck? Like, you need to contribute. We're in a society. You're an able fucking person. You need to contribute. Yep. Period. Right? And that is a valid thing to feel, and I feel it too. I think everybody should contribute in their way that they can, that is able. Right? That is a belief I have for everyone. But I don't think you come to a lot of the, you know, that feeling from these arguments. But if you come from that place and you're like, okay, we have people who are on survival wages, right? And I'm mad at them. My company is telling me to be mad at them that they're causing all this ruckus because they don't want to come back to work. I also have to, though, I mean, that's the thing. You have to acknowledge, like, well, why don't they want to go back to work? Well, if they're not making any money, or the money that they make, they can't get the job that they want, what they deserve to be paid, right? Nobody wants to pay them that. They are experiencing, if you got laid off and you haven't worked for a year and a half and you have 20 years in an industry and now you're aging out of that industry and you're trying to go get a job and all you're getting offers for is for 30, 40 grand less than what you were making before, would you go back to work for that? Fuck no.
Of course
not.
not.
No one would. Because that's where the issue lies, is that these companies are squeezing out all of the labor. And we see the squeeze happen more and more. There's not a labor shortage in fucking construction right now, like you said, because homes are being built. They can pay that money, and it's just, I think you have to look at the full picture if you're going to be upset about it and have and say oh, these, because if you go at it with the mentality of separation, all that's going to happen is no one's going to get paid any more money and probably less people are going to work, period. Because these fucking places won't give up on this shit and they'll be scabs, or people will be forced back into it when they stop doing this unemployment shit. They'll be fucking forced to go back into work and take these jobs that they don't want and are way, their value is not being served there, and they could be serving the communities that they live in a lot better if the places would pay those wages.
Oh, yeah.
And with the mentality of knowing that it's not about separating us, that if we all see that we're in this together against this other force, it's not us against each other, it's us versus the ones up on top, that force, that us as workers together, all of our wages go up at that point. Because if they win and they get these raises and wages, like I said, they have to raise up the other ones of the experienced workers. That is why they're fighting this. It's too long term for their 5-year plans that they've planned out with their margins and all their little tiny, way too much profit. And they know all the math, right? They are fully aware of what's going to happen and what would happen, which is completely fine. None of them would be shut down. And to end this point, look at Seattle. Seattle is one of the places that statewide implemented a $15 minimum wage, including restaurants. They said it was going to crush all of this fast food restaurants. They said it was going to do all this terrible stuff. It would close all the small businesses. No. Everything thrived in that economy. Everything. From small business to Taco fucking Bells. Everything was going off. And prices did increase a little bit. But like I said, these increases
motherfuckers were paying that anyways through tips. The thing is that motherfuckers will be like, they're cool paying the tip on top of the dollar. They just don't want it to say that on the menu. You know what I mean? Such a goof. That's a really goof.
Cool with tipping, and that tip
that's
shit.
Well, that's the point, right? Is because they don't have to. And if you don't tip, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, you keep
superior over a servant so that they can withhold their wages.
Maybe I think some motherfuckers just broke though.
Oh no, there's some.
I know some motherfuckers. You should
be going to fucking restaurants. Make your own food.
Maybe that's true. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's true. I'm just saying.
Go to a restaurant that doesn't have servers who need tips.
I'm just saying that in that sense, tips are added a lot of times, even especially with big, and it's like you're expected to do the tip anyways, 15 to 20%. You're expected to do that, and whether other motherfuckers do it or not, enough people do it where it's still expected, right? If everybody just stopped, it wouldn't be expected no more. It's, you know what I mean? Still expected, and in that sense, it's like, well, we're paying that. Right? So then people are afraid of their food going up in price. But it's like you're paying that already. Like you're paying that when you're paying a motherfucker. You just don't want to see it on the menu that it's $9. You'd just rather spend your $7 and tip $2.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You want to see the 7 to make yourself feel better. And it's like, man, motherfuckers need to go. We should be required by law. Can we do that in socialism when we get our dictator? Can we have can we have it mandatory that fools go to a math class?
It's
just
mandatory
once.
In this
I mean everybody.
Every
citizen.
12 math classes.
Every citizen at least for 3 hours every month must study math or basic math. Understand what the fuck is going on.
No, we're not doing that.
Imagine people not being misled by titles. You know what I mean? Understanding even the capacity to understand the difference between a million and a billion.
Right? The difference between a million and a billion, the difference between a median and an average, simple shit like that.
You know what I'm saying? And then reminder shit, or just to keep doing it over and over to the point where it's like, I didn't listen the first 3 times, but 4 years later, dude, I'm a mathematician. Right? And you're like, fuck it, it's because I live in America. I don't know, we're all mathematicians now.
That's what we get known for, not our military, but our mathletes.
Imagine the math that the military could do if they all did math.
They do some pretty tight math.
Now imagine the precision if all of them knew the math and not just the fools planning it. Damn. Math is like, that's the next one. And you know what else is math? Cryptocurrency.
It is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it just like building out a unique number? Isn't that all that one Bitcoin essentially is? Is just a really, really long unique
Equation.
number.
Unique equation that equals a unique number. So you got to know both. Like it's like what you get is only stored on the blockchain, and the blockchain is public without the information of the Bitcoins themselves. But you can see every transaction that happens on cryptocurrency.
Well, and so, I mean, in the way that I understand it, that's why that shit, like the crazy part about it, this is not like a math equation that you can write down on a piece of paper, right? This number is not a number you could write down really in any amount of time. Like these are massive, like numbers. And to create and to find the unique number to solve this equation, right? Because it's a unique equation, unique solution for each equation, right? It's like that pairing. Is that what you're saying? I don't know about the equation, but I just know that there's a number associated with it. And then those computers just have to essentially solve that problem and look for the solution and find the matching bit. And that once they find the matching number set with the equation, that creates a coin. Right?
Ish, yeah.
And that takes... I mean, so how long does it take you to make one coin? Would it take you to make one coin?
One Bitcoin? See,
On your computer.
If I don't know what it would be like to mine on my computer like that. I'm using some shit that Eric told me about, where it's basically like you're taking a piece of the processing of the equation with a gang of other people, and they give you a cut. So how long would it take for me to get one Bitcoin? Probably about 1 billion years. But so far, in the last 3 days, your boy made $15.
Hey.
And when that number gets higher, I'm going to transfer it to Ethereum, and I'm going to buy another horse.
Another horse.
How many horses you trying to get?
A stable.
Damn, like a baker's dozen of horses.
Hell yeah. A gang of them motherfuckers. And then I want them fucking making mo horses. I'm talking about.
You can make your
You can do that?
ethereal
Hell
horses.
yeah, you can.
Are
Right,
NFTs
you
just
can-
Neopets?
Huh?
Are NFTs just Neopets?
Basically, yeah, except for I don't have to feed it.
Oh,
Tight.
I just run it,
dang.
and I pay money to run it in a race, and it either wins and wins me money, or I lose, which is what it's been doing mostly because it's a donkey.
Does it evolve?
No.
Into a horse or like?
Mm-mm.
And
The-
so did you like
the evolving
unwrap it
happens
and it was
with
a donkey
breeding.
And they're just like, gotcha.
Gotcha.
And you didn't
No. They did a drop,
that.
and there was like a gang of them, and it all happened so fast. The drop happens, we hit refresh, it's there.
You're just like, fuck,
I'm going.
is that a horse or a donkey?
I'm
I
trying
don't know.
to. I'm trying to pick one, and I tried to pick one called Dwayne the Rock Johnson, and I was like, I want him, and it was all frozen, and it didn't work, and I was like, oh fuck, I kept trying, it didn't work, I was like, oh fuck, I'm not gonna get one. Me and Keeks were both doing it. He's with a laptop behind me. It's not working. I'm like, oh fuck, we lost it, and all of a sudden, bink comes up processing ETH. I'm like, oh shit, I don't even know which one I bought, but I bought one.
So how
And
did
you
like
got some ass?
stats work for that? Like,
Well, if it runs and it wins, you get good stats. If it runs and it loses, you get bad stats.
What decides if it wins or loses? Like, what's actually
Math.
so
Just
is
more
it
like
just
random events.
No, it's got its own algorithm. It's got its own
has its own set of,
equation.
like stats of like?
It's got its own
what's
equation
minimum?
about how it will run based on right now. It's based on the distance the breed of your horse, the rarity, and the color. And its bloodline. And then in the future, it will be affected by, and I don't know, hopefully near future, they're under maintenance right now. In the future, it'll be affected by weather, by location, and I think even by gate number.
Weather and location based off of where?
Because each race is in a different city somewhere. And you enter the races, it's for a specific distance, for a specific amount that you put in, and then there's a pot. If your horse wins first, you get most of the pot. Second, you get a little bit, and third, you get your money back. And then there's 12 horses, so everybody else loses.
So
9 losers, just like a horse track.
After so many races, do you send this horse to the glue factory too?
I'm about to send his ass to the glue factory now, but he ain't done them but waste my money.
About to send you to be an extra on Shrek, fucking donkey.
No, I spent like $1.50 racing this horse so far.
Like $1.50?
No, $150.
Oh,
Racing this horse. He made me like $9.
do you listen to that
My
Cake
ROI
song?
is like negative 93%. Like, fuck. Damn you, cursed math.
Damn
Dwayne
you,
The
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Ah.
What's the name of your donkey?
3 wise men. I tell them all the time, like, act like Jesus on the end, boy. Be the first ones there. Y'all were the first ones. Show up. That boy sits in first. The whole race don't matter what we're doing. From 1,000 meters to 2,800 meters, he sits in first for 2/3 of the race.
Then he peters.
And then he fucking just falls back to 8th.
Ooh, 8th.
Every time.
Yeah,
So I bought an NFT horse. It's so funny to me, but it's so fun.
it is pretty funny.
It's fun, too.
Yeah.
Betting on my own horse. I'm like, come on, boy. You got this. It's like rooting for a fighter who always loses. You're like, fuck.
Yeah. You're just a
He
homer.
almost got him, though.
Did you see how long he was in first before he went to 8th?
See? He had all them rounds until he got knocked out. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Oh, man. Well, you ready to wrap it up?
I think so. I think we are.
Yeah, I mean, that was a hella crypto episode. I didn't expect that, but I definitely want to talk about some wild shit. And I bought a crypto horse.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's wrap this up then.
Hell yeah. Don't bet on my horse. You'll lose money.
Can I bet on it to lose?
Nope. Not yet.
Not
maybe,
yet.
Maybe soon, but not yet.
Right on. Right on.
We're done.
You want to take us out?
Yeah, I guess that's been it. And it's been the Lone Ranger versus Tonto. This motherfucker. Eric, you got anything?
Propaganda is a British person trying to take a better look at something.